Alpine found themselves at the centre of a team order dispute during the Canadian Grand Prix, when Ocon was upset with the team for not ordering Gasly to give him back 9th position on the penultimate lap. And as tensions within the team keep rising, many are questioning, where does it stop? And does Ocon still have a future in F1? Does this impact Ocon's further changes of a future in F1? How will the ongoing struggle within Alpine affect Ocon and Alpine itself? As the tale developed during the race, Ocon was ahead of Gasly as the teammates finished 9th and 10th, with Gasly being the faster of the two. Alpine instructed Ocon to allow his teammate pass so that he could try and attack Daniel Ricciardo for position. His instant instinct was, forget it. After some back and forth, he gave up and let Gasly past him around turn 8 on lap 69 of the 70-lap Grand Prix. By then, Gasly's distance behind Ricciardo was too big for him to overcome, and he crossed the finish 9th behind the RB driver with Ocon in 10th. The latter was furious that Alpine did not force Gasly to give him back the place, telling his race engineer, "I've done what I had to do, which is the most important, but you guys didn't do what you had to do." It was a stance he stuck by when he spoke with the media after the race, saying, "I've been a team player and I've always respected the instructions that I've been given. Always. It's always been the case and I showed it once more today." But the nice guy doesn't always pay off in Formula 1, and that is bothering me a lot. He went on to say that he always does what is best for the team, respects the instructions, and is a team player. However, some might not think that way, and after the Grand Prix, Jacques Villeneuve was quick to poke holes in Ocon's team player stance. According to the 1997 world champion, who was a guest commentator on Sky F1 during the Canadian Grand Prix weekend, Ocon employed tactics against his teammate. That wasn't good, because we heard him in his comments, "I was a team player, I let him by, the team was wrong," and so on. But he made sure that he waited long enough that it was too late for Gasly to go and attack, Villeneuve said. But he still let him by to say, "I was a team player." So there's a lot of thought process going in there. Gasly chose not to feed the fires, claiming it was no big deal. He was eager to highlight Alpine's double points finish, which brought their F1 2024 season total to 5, and hailed the great teamwork he witnessed during the race. First of all, I think the main news should be that we scored points with both cars, and looking at all the simulation this morning, none of them looked that it would be achievable, he stated to reporters following the race. So definitely a very positive day for the team. The target was quite clear at the end. I was faster on the hard tyres towards the end of the race, and I was right behind Daniel, and as soon as Daniel overtook Esteban, the goal was for the other car to let me pass and for the last 4 laps to try to overtake Daniel with the DRS. It took slightly more time than we would have liked, but honestly, it's no big deal. What's tricky is these 2 laps for Daniel to break the DRS, and when you do it 2 laps to the end, it's too far away. But then, had it been done slightly earlier, then potentially I'm in the DRS and you get slightly more chances. But honestly, it's no big deal. I still think we did a great teamwork today, we tried different stuff, Ocon stayed out on the inters, I boxed, I put the hard tyres on, we got some good data. I think it was a very good day for the whole team, and to come out with 3 points could be very valuable at the end of the year. Alpine has subsequently published a statement clarifying why they did not shift Ocon back ahead of Gasly before the finish of the race, citing the lurking Haas of Nico Hülkenberg as making the transfer too hazardous to try. According to an Alpine spokesman, Esteban was told to allow Pierre pass early in lap 68 so that Pierre could assault Ricciardo for 8th place. The reason being, Esteban was losing performance with the suspected PU issue, and the team had confidence for Pierre to attack Ricciardo with DRS and Ricciardo without DRS. Esteban then let Pierre by halfway into lap 69 at turn 8. By this time it was too late. Ricciardo escaped too far ahead for Pierre to put pressure on, and with Hülkenberg threatening behind, it was too risky to swap back positions. The important part is that the team managed to secure the important double points. Alpine regained to 8th place in the Constructors' Championship after the Canadian Grand Prix, 3 points ahead of Williams. The current turmoil comes in the wake of the Monaco Grand Prix collision, which confirmed Ocon's departure from the team at the end of the year, as well as the Frenchman revealing that he was driving a heavier vehicle in Canada. It all leads to a situation that does not appear to be optimal between the driver and the team. However, manager Bruno Famin says that there is no evidence that the team is purposely holding Ocon back, and has told him that he would receive as much assistance as he requires for the balance of the season. Asked how relations were now after Monaco and if things had settled down with the decision about the future taken, Famin said, "It has been sorted, but we had 16 and we now 15 races to go now. I think Esteban can count on all the team to help him to get the best result, because Esteban having the best result is helping the team having the best possible result, and we count on Esteban to bring everything he can bring to the team." I say it like that, but I should not, because Esteban is part of the team. The team is everybody within the team. Driver, mechanic, engineer, everybody has to bring his own to make the best possible result for the team, and the driver is part of the team. Famin is clear that Alpine has no interest in impeding Ocon's performance, especially given its competitiveness, which means it needs every point possible to improve its Constructors' Championship standing. "We will not put aside Esteban at all," he said. "He will have exactly the same condition as Pierre. They are on the same level, same status. We know they are very close in terms of the performance, and it won't be good to do something different for anybody. Again, it's team interest, Alpine interest first." When asked whether there were any concerns about Ocon being D-Mob happy and not putting the team first, Famin replied, "I don't worry more than before." Alpine and Ocon announced before Canadian that they will end their 5-year collaboration after this year's tournament. The driver has been strongly associated to Haas, but they must also have their reservations after recent weeks and performances. So, does Ocon still have a future in F1 after all this? First the Monaco incident, now the shouting over the radio. Surely other teams will have to think twice before signing the Frenchman. What do you think? Does Ocon still have a future in F1, and perhaps with Haas? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And who will replace Ocon? Well, apparently their reserve driver Jack Doohan was seen chatting a lot with boss Bruno Famin over the Canadian Grand Prix. Could it be that Ocon's replacement is already lined up? Jack Doohan has shed light on the situation and the short video of him talking with Alpine team principal Bruno Famin, which he claims received a lot of media attention. Doohan and Famin were seen speaking on a balcony above the Alpine garage after the Monaco Grand Prix. Following the events of the race, it was assumed that the Frenchman was considering a future drive with the Australian. Speaking on it, Doohan said, "That chat that got so much media publicity was actually us talking about Cushmaney's Formula 2 season. It just got so blown out of proportion. Cush, you couldn't see him, he was out of vision, but he's been suffering with a cracked chassis since Imola. Had a shocking 2 rounds, and it's something I went through for 5 rounds last year. So we were just informing Bruno and speaking about that. It was just at the wrong time and it blows up in the press." But was it though? Who else could Alpine pick up? And their last junior, Piastri, ended up being pretty good, so why not give it a try, don't you think? Should they put Doohan in the car? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.